Welcome to the Stateless Standard. Tonight we are going to ruin the 1960s for you, permanently. Everything you were taught about the organic hippie explosion in Laurel Canyon, Los Angeles, is a carefully curated myth. The music was real. The revolution was not. By the time this video ends, you will never again hear California Dreamin', Mr. Tambourine Man, or Light My Fire without wondering whose payroll the artist was really on. Let's begin. Most people think Laurel Canyon was just some sleepy bohemian enclave that magically attracted geniuses. Let's correct the record. 1910 to 1935, Harry Houdini owns the entire Lower Canyon, builds a mansion with underground tunnels and a private movie studio. 1941 to 1945, the U.S. Army seizes the ridgeline for radar installations. 1947, the Air Force quietly buys Lookout Mountain Laboratory, a 100,000 square foot nuclear-hardened film studio buried in the hilltops directly above every future rock star mansion. For the next 22 years, it produces thousands of classified propaganda, training, and psyop films. Crews work 24/7. The facility is still classified in parts today. 1950s, the Army Corps of Engineers installs 2 Nike Ajax nuclear-tipped missile sites. This is not a quiet artist's colony. This is a decommissioned intelligence reservation, handed over to the next generation of assets. Now meet the free spirits, who all arrived within an 18-month window, 1965-1966. Jim Morrison, father, Rear Admiral George S. Morrison, commander of U.S. Naval Forces during the fabricated Gulf of Tonkin incident. Jim never once mentioned his father in any interview, despite the admiral being on the cover of newspapers worldwide. Father, Floyd Crosby, Oscar-winning cinematographer for U.S. military propaganda films including High Noon, used in psychological warfare courses, and dozens of classified projects. Stephen Stills, Army brat. Father built military bases across Latin America. Grew up on Edgewood Arsenal, Maryland, the Army's primary chemical warfare and LSD human testing facility. Father Francis Zappa Sr. was a senior chemist there during the exact years 7,000 U.S. soldiers were dosed without consent. John Phillips, on the Papas, U.S. Marine Corps honorably discharged after serving at the Pentagon. Papa John Phillips' best friend in the canyon, Charles Tex Watson, future Manson family murderer. Yes, really. Vito Paulekas and his Freaks, the original Canyon dance troupe. Vito openly admitted in interviews that he was on the CIA payroll for cultural experimentation and was paid to bring teenage runaway girls to the parties. Terry Melcher, producer of the Byrds' first 2 albums, son of Doris Day, lived at 1050 Cielo Drive, the same house where Sharon Tate was murdered. Regular Canyon host for Manson. Every single one of these people had either direct military intelligence family ties or documented intelligence connections themselves. Not one was a genuine outsider who made it. And then there's the LSD. The official story is that a rogue chemist named Osley Stanley cooked it in a bathtub. The receipts say something else. This part makes people angry. The LSD was not organic. Here's the receipts. Captain Alfred M. Hubbard, the Johnny Appleseed of LSD, was an OSS officer who later worked directly for the CIA. He personally flew suitcases of Sandoz LSD into Los Angeles and handed it out like candy to Aldous Huxley, Timothy Leary, Ken Kesey. He carried diplomatic passports and bragged he had written permission from the agency. When Sandoz halted civilian sales in 1964, the CIA purchased the entire remaining global stockpile through Eli Lilly and kept distribution channels open. Osley Stanley, the genius chemist myth, learned his craft at military laboratories and was bankrolled by a mysterious patrons who never asked for money back. The Grateful Dead, Jefferson Airplane, and Quicksilver Messenger Service became the house bands for the CIA-linked acid tests within months of the agency's largest domestic LSD distribution wave ever recorded. Declassified Chaos Program memos from 1967 openly celebrate how the drug culture has successfully fragmented the New Left and rendered it politically impotent. The anti-war movement didn't fail because it ran out of steam. It was deliberately drowned in high-grade government-subsidized acid. Between 1966 and 1976, Laurel Canyon and its immediate orbit produced one of the most statistically improbable clusters of premature deaths in entertainment history. Graham Parsons, overdose, body stolen and burned in Joshua Tree. By Canyon insiders. Brandon DeWild, car crash. Christine Hinton, Crosby's girlfriend, car crash. Mama Cass Elliot, heart attack, actually choked but narrative stuck. Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, Jim Morrison, all dead within 10 months of one another. Dozens more ruled suicide, overdose, or accident. Dave McGowan, the researcher who documented this in weird scenes inside the canyon, died suddenly of fast-acting cancer at age 55, just weeks after the book went viral. His last blog post, "They're coming for me." So what was Laurel Canyon, really? Option A, the greatest accidental concentration of musical talent in human history. Option B, the most sophisticated psychological operation ever staged against the American public, one that replaced political resistance with sex, drugs, and 12-string guitars, all performed by the children of the national security state. The music was sublime, the control was total, and the receipts are still sitting in declassified files nobody wants you to read. If this video just ruined your favorite playlist, good, you're waking up. Like this video and subscribe to Stateless Standard. We don't sell the dream, we autopsy it. Stay free.